was just kind of following on from your London question.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, people are finding deals in London, but yes, it's more difficult because of the higher house price, and you know, getting a deal to stack is difficult. What a lot of people are doing at the moment is using lease options, whereby we'll take a lease option out on a property. Say, for example, people gone abroad overseas because they can't sell the properties, and that works very, very well. It's quite a good strategy, and you could actually take a lease option out with a vendor, agree ahead of terms, and sell that on because it's got a price, it's got a value. You could do that. It's another string to the property sourcing bow. I did 2 at the beginning of the year, which made one wasn't very much, 1750, and the other was 3250. That's £5,000, just for basically spending about 2.5 hours on the phone.
So can you actually go through that then? Because I don't understand that part of it.
A lease option, how it works and what to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that then, and then we'll have a coffee. A lease option. Okay, this is another string to a property sourcer's bow. Another tool in the toolkit. And basically, no matter what all the people running the courses tell you, it's 2 things. It's a lease and an option. Okay, that's all it is, essentially. So it's you taking out, or somebody taking out, a lease on that property for a fixed period of time, whether that's 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and paying a set amount every month. And then running alongside that is another contract where you have an option to buy the property, or somebody has an option to buy the property within that 5-year period at a fixed price. It's only an option, it's not a commitment. Okay, so you might agree a situation with a vendor where you lease it off them for 5 years at £500 a month, and running alongside that is an option to purchase at 2007 prices of, I don't know, 150k. And when the timing's right, you move that property on, sell it on, and hopefully it's gone over the value of the 150, and you take out the bit in the middle. There's lots of different ways to structure it, and this would work. Let me give you an example of one of the ones I sold. Okay, it was for a accidental property investor who bought a new build in Manchester, 3-storey new build townhouse. Bought it at the height of the property market. He lives down near me, and basically he's worried about the interest rates going up, and he's fed up with the distance, you know, Northamptonshire to Manchester. He's just fed up with it. So with this particular deal, it's rented out at £9.50 a month. Okay. Letting agency's taken 10% or more plus VAT. So letting agency's taken off their slice, which is sorry, hang on, got that wrong. 9.50 times 10% times 17.5%. It's about 100 something quid, isn't it? It's about 105, yeah. And I think his mortgage currently, because it's a tracker, is very low. I think it's about, because I don't really remember the figures, but it's something around there. Okay, but he's worried. At the moment, he's doing all right out of it. So he's getting around about 400 quid. 395 actually. He's getting 395 positive cash flow on that. Obviously, he's got his building insurance and what have you. But anyway, the point is he's fed up with it. So what I've done is I've set up a lease on the property for 5 years, guaranteed every month was 700 for 5 years. He paid 225. He got virtually 100% mortgage, and the property now I think he thinks is worth 200. Okay, so he can't sell it. Well, he could, but if he did, he'd have to put his hand in his pocket for 25-30 grand. So then a 5-year lease, option to purchase, within the 5-year period, we put in 230. Okay? My thinking is that sometime in that 5 years, the house will go up to 235, 240, something of that region. I think that was they were the numbers we did. So that's the deal. That's the lease option. I've sold that on to a local guy who lives near this house. He knows it's undervalued at 950. He reckons he can get 1,100 a month. I think he's done it. He's going to manage it himself, and he's paying the vendor 700 a month. So for 5 years, that deal, buildings insurance I think is 15 quid, minus 700, 385 a month times 60. That deal is worth to the buyer of the lease option at least £23,000 over 5 years.
And interest rates going up?
It doesn't matter to the buyer of the deal, of the lease option.
It does to the...
It does to him, but he's the vendor has obviously worked out what's the worst case scenario, but he feels he's protected himself by taking that, maybe sitting tight for another year or so and just pocketing the difference while the interest rates are good. So I sold this on for 3 and a bit grand, and the guy buying it has taken the view that every 5-year period of the lease is going to be worth 23 grand to him. That's quite a good deal, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's going to run it himself, look after it himself, and let it himself. He reckons that actually it'll be worth 250. So if he sells it for 245, during the 5-year period, the vendor gets 230. So he's hoping as well that there's another 15 grand in there for him as well.
So that's 700. Where did that figure come from?
It's just what we agreed with the vendor.
And he was happy to go with that.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah. So you agreed that 230 at the start set.
Yeah.
That's not changed over the 5 years at all.
No.
Right.
That's built in.
Why is he agreed to go from 950 to 700? That's the bit I don't understand. That purely because he's worried about the property.
Why has he agreed to do what, Graham? Sorry.
He's not. He doesn't. His hands off, isn't it?
Because he's gone from 950 to 700, so he's losing 250 a month.
Well, it's not quite though, because the letting agent's taken off
Yeah.
a chunk.
Yeah.
He doesn't feel that it's getting managed very well. He's fed up with it. It's a bit of a millstone around his neck.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. In terms of the hard numbers, you might.
It's actually coming out with 450 per month after all his costs, his mortgage costs and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I can see why he'd do it, but
It's an emotional thing as well. It's not just the numbers. He's just fed up with it. He bought it in 07, I think.
so how did this deal get going in the first place? Did he respond to?
Oddly enough, I went to a landlords forum at my local council. And
Landlords Forum?
Landlords forum at local council, networking. And I was sitting there thinking, oh, why am I here? Bored, what's this about? The council officials are going on about fire regs and LHA and housing. I'm thinking, why am I doing this? And there's a great big oak panelled room, about 10 times the size of this, all these landlords whinging about housing benefit. And there's this little guy across the room looking at me and waving. I thought, well, I got lucky here. And I realised I knew him. And about, 4 years ago, he approached me to rent out one of his houses in the local town. So I had a chat with him, and I just literally had a cup of coffee, how's things going, blah, 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 and he just said, so I've got this house in Manchester, I'm fed up with it. I said, I might be able to help you. Let's have a chat, come around, have a chat, and we'll talk about the numbers. Simple as that.
And how did you find the person who took on the deal then?
I put it on a forum, an online forum. Simple as that. Lease options are very hot at the moment because, in your situation, you might be able to find these in London. Are you likely to find lots of properties that are empty where the owners have had to go overseas and travel and can't sell them? I would think so. They've emigrated, so if you can get, if you can find them by talking to estate agents, by talking to letting agents and saying, look, if you've got any accidental landlords who are fed up, by the way, I'll make it worth your while as well. Because if you do a deal with a vendor and you make 3 grand, well, you give the letting agent, say, give me an invoice and I'll give you 500 quid finder's fee. They'll be happy with that, I'm sure. So that gives you an idea of a lease option strategy. It's another thing that you as a